Hi, hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to just have a little chit chat about a true crime YouTuber named Bullhorn Betty and a restraining order that I saw come against her just recently. But before we get into it, if you haven't already, please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell icon so you get a notification every time I post. And please do not contact anybody that we talk about in this video and spread any hate, negativity, nothing like that. These are just my thoughts and opinions based on what I'm seeing play on the internet. We're here to talk about stuff online and not to engage with this stuff for these people. And recently, I've been paying attention to a situation between a creator named Bullhorn Betty and a woman named Katie Proudfoot. Katie Proudfoot is the mother of missing Tennessee teenager Sebastian Rogers. Sebastian Rogers disappeared from his home in Henderson or Hendersonville, I think it's Henderson, Tennessee on the night of February 25th, 2004, and an Amber Alert was put in place the following day on February 26th, 2004, or 2024. What year is it anymore? Sebastian is 15 years old. He is 5 feet, 5 inches tall. He weighs approximately 120 pounds. He has brown eyes, dirty blonde hair, and wears glasses. Sebastian is autistic, though I do not know where on the spectrum he falls. And Sebastian was last seen wearing a black sweatshirt and black sweatpants. The house, he left behind his shoes, his cell phone, his Nintendo Switch, which I guess is something that he usually took everywhere with him. I don't know otherwise why that would seem important. And then other devices that were left there that police have searched through, computers, PS5, things like that. Sebastian Rogers lived with his mother and stepfather, Katie and Chris Proudfoot. And then there's also his biological father, Seth Rogers, Seth Rogers has actually been very active in the search for his son. Now, at the time, Katie Proudfoot was the only person that was home, apparently, and was the last person to have an official on-the-record interaction with him before his disappearance. When at 10 p.m., she heard a thud from his room, called out his name, he did respond, and she told him to go to bed. And that is the last official known interaction that anybody had with the missing teen. She then discovered that he was missing the next day and reported him, and her husband, Chris Proudfoot, returned home later that day because apparently he was at work, working on a work site somewhere. Makes me think that it's some kind of construction job or something, because my dad did road work and stuff, so I think he would stay in hotels sometimes and, would stay closer to a work site. Seth Rogers, though, Sebastian's father, says the story doesn't make sense, and neither of the Proudfoots, I want to say Proud Feet, but that's not their name, will talk to him about the search for their son. The Proudfoots seem to think that somebody has taken him for some reason, but apparently the house was still locked when Katie Proudfoot woke up in the morning and noticed Sebastian was gone. So they're not really sure how it became locked, because I'm going to assume his keys were there. I don't know. Over 10,000 miles have been logged in the search for Sebastian. A search that Seth Rogers, like I said, has been very actively participating in. However, it doesn't seem like the Proudfoots are doing so much with this search. They indicated in an interview they were told to stay home by law enforcement in case he came home. But a lot of internet sleuths discovered that they would still be going out to restaurants and barbecues. And I mean, people have to eat, but I don't really know if I would be leaving the house if my child was missing. That's just me. And then they also packed up and left their home in an RV for a while. Chris said it was because he had to go back to work, and Katie said she went to support him with work. I'm not sure what that means. And she won't help the search because she doesn't want to leave the house in case he comes, but then she completely packs up the whole house and leaves. What if he comes back and the house is just completely empty? Like I said, I don't think I'd ever be able to leave. So yeah, a lot of weirdness going on around this case, especially with the Proudfoots, his family, but that's really not what this video is about. As far as I have seen, they have not been officially listed as people of interest or anything. And technically, this is not what this video is actually about. Though a missing child is extremely important, and that is why I did include his description and everything. And keep a lookout if you're in the Tennessee area. But I'm going to move on to our other player in this story, which is the YouTube and just content creator in general, Bullhorn Betty or Andrea or Andrea. I'm not actually sure how to say her real name. Griffin. I'm going to call her Betty. Bullhorn? Bullhorn sounds better, but I think Betty is just going to be easier to just say. We'll figure it out as we get through it though, you know? Anyway, she makes true crime content here on YouTube, on TikTok, probably Instagram, though I haven't actually checked her Instagram, and is very active on Facebook, and actually has a group there that's very active as well. Facebook is just where a lot of horrible things happen. So I feel like there's different kinds of like true crime content, if you will. So there are the kinds of channels that do like a lot of research. They like heavily script and they just stick to the facts. Then you have the kind that do research, but then they sprinkle like their own opinions in there, especially if it's a recent case where there's a lot of open ends, you know? And then some post any potential updates. They post several times a day, and they will run with any possible theories. Bullhorn Betty 100% falls into that last category, to me at least. She also focuses on current cases. She lives in Florida, but will travel for these cases. I've watched some of her YouTube videos, and she really talks like she and her followers are gonna like solve these cases. It's kind of weird, to be honest. Like, she talks about like her cases and stuff. It just was like kind of unsettling. So she has traveled to where the Proudfoots live in an attempt to help aid the search for Sebastian, but also drives by and films their home, their private property. And I did see a video where she parked her car and got out to film her RV that I believe she thinks has something to do with Sebastian's disappearance. Now, I heard all about this from an article by the local ABC News channel. It was on my Chrome homebook page. I was actually in Tennessee last week for vacation, so I think that's part of why this got pushed to me. And the headline was, "She's Dangerous. A mother of missing Tennessee teens file orders of protection against YouTuber." So, of course, me being a little nosy, I had to take a look at this. And Katie Proudfoot is saying that Betty, Bullhorn Betty, or Andrea, whatever, her behavior is stalking and it is harassment. She filed for an order of protection against Betty, citing in addition to her own behavior that Betty is also She also filed for an order of protection from Betty, citing in addition to her own behavior, Betty is also inciting her followers to do the same and stalk and harass Katie Proudfoot. Katie Proudfoot feels that Betty is putting herself and her family in danger. Now, Betty did give a statement to this local news source, this ABC channel, and she said she has not received anything, like a summons, or she says she hasn't been served, but that she's innocent. She says, quote, "It appears for her to get an ex parte order from everything I'm reading, she would have to say that I am an immediate threat to her life and I'm in Florida. I have never laid eyes on this woman in the flesh. I have never reached out to her by phone, email, or text message. I have never even responded to any of her Facebook posts. I haven't talked to this lady." She also confirmed with ABC WKRN that she did live stream from the area a month prior. But she's innocent, you guys. What? She even said like she's not going to take down any of her live streams or anything because she's innocent. I guess we'll see what happens. There was a court hearing scheduled for August 8th, and then it was pushed back to August 22nd, which was last week, and it was in Sumner County, Tennessee. Until the court hearing, Betty was not allowed to come within 100 feet of Katie Proudfoot or her home. And according to records posted online in Sumner County, Katie filed 3 separate orders of protection, probably to cover different things like herself or property, things like that. And then Chris Proudfoot actually filed for one on August 19th, a few days before her hearings for the one with Katie were supposed to happen. Now, the date I'm filming this is August 27th, and I'll probably post it August 28th. And at the time of this filming, neither she nor her attorney appeared for the August 22nd hearing. So an order of protection was granted for Katie Proudfoot. Some were actually confused why there wasn't even an attorney there, because she did apparently fundraise to retain money for an attorney, and even had somebody post pictures of receipts, like an invoice and a credit card receipt. Well, my question is, if you retained an attorney, why the hell didn't they show up for the hearing? What did you pay them for? Where did the money that you allegedly gave this attorney even go to if it was not for this? And you know what, to be honest, in this day and age, like, anything can be faked. You can look up a screenshot of a credit card and edit it to look like your signature and literally just make up invoices from scratch. I've made up invoices from scratch. So who knows where this money for this attorney even really went? There has been talk that she has done other fundraisers and has never given the money to any of those causes either. So, but that's something for another time, maybe. Anyway, yes, now she has a restraining order or an order of protection on her from Katie Proudfoot, and I'm sure the one from Chris will come really soon. It will follow. That trial's in like 2 days. It's on 29th, which is my birthday. Ooh. But this didn't really seem to sway Betty either, because 2 days later, she actually an hour after the order of protection went into place, she posted a video. She made a live stream. And then she posted on her Facebook about a visual for Sebastian Rogers and said, "Come one, come all." And then went to said visual for Sebastian Rogers after the mother of this child has a restraining order against her. And then she was arrested at said visual. The Arkansas Justice Project stated on Facebook that prior to the visual, she already had the warrant from her arrest. So I believe it's probably from that live stream, because I'm assuming she probably can't even do live streams about them with a restraining order, you know. The other interesting thing to me is that she couldn't go to Tennessee for her court case, but then 2 days later went to a visual that she's legally not even allowed to be at? What? She was originally arrested in Montgomery County, and that's Clarksville, which is where the visual was, and then was transported to Sumner County and had a $20,000 bond. And her Facebook mods, I believe, were dropping her PayPal, her Cash App, Venmo, any way to send her money, because now she has to make bail. And she'll also have legal fees. It does seem that she made bail, but now she, like I said, has all these legal fees. She apparently is going to be paying for another attorney. I don't know. But then she does also, does have to, like, pay the courts for those, like, hearings and stuff. So it seems like what she's doing is just getting herself into a bunch of legal bullshit and then e-begging to help other people help her clean up her mess. And then she still also has her hearing on the 29th, which, like I said, is my birthday. And I'm sure that's not going to go in her favor at all. I wonder if she's even going to show up this time. She might not actually be able to show up if Katie is present, to, like, support her husband. Hopefully this attorney that she allegedly paid for shows up and does something this time. Even with just a little bit of looking, these charges that she has is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to her legal woes. Betty or Andrea, I have no idea, Andrea Griffin, doesn't strike me as a person that learns from her mistakes. I'm sure she's just going to be back to the same old bullshit when she gets home, doing live streams, saying things. Maybe if I'm lucky, she'll even talk about me. Who knows? It's just crazy that regardless of what you think is happening in a criminal case, that she felt the need to just interject herself into this and is making a whole spectacle out of it. And if there is more things from this next coming court case, I will let you guys know. And please don't forget, if you are in the area, be on the lookout for Sebastian Rogers. He is 15 years old, 120 pounds, 5 feet, 5 inches tall, brown eyes, dirty blonde hair. He does wear glasses. He is also autistic. He may be distressed. The FBI has since put out a $50,000 reward, I think, for any information about him, but I'm assuming they will also just take him if you have him as well. I hope he is found safe. The longer this kind of thing goes on, the less likely it seems like that, but that's really unfortunate. Anyway, keep an eye out for him. And once again, please don't send anybody that we talk about in this video any hate, negativity, nothing like that. We are just here to observe. And if you haven't already, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you guys in my next video. Laters. Bye.